What up YouTube, it's your boy Anime Specialist. So I wanted to review and talk about this new series named Eden Zero. It's been out for a while. There's only 7 chapters right now, but I want to review the series, so let's get right to it. So obviously, if you started reading this manga, you might know that this manga is made by the same author that did Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima. I just finished the 7 chapters that are out right now, and I'm gonna say my thoughts and what I think about this new series by Hiro Mashima. Obviously, it's pretty similar. The characters like Shiki is pretty similar to Natsu, Rebecca is pretty similar to Lucy. If you're familiar with Fairy Tail, it's pretty similar, but it's also very different in my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know it seems really weird when I say that these two series are pretty similar, but at the same time they're really different. The reason why I think it's different is because the setting is different. In Fairy Tail it's pretty much fantasy, and in Eden Zero it's really like sci-fi, so that's one of the reasons why it's very different. The characters, yes, the looks are really similar, but their quests and their ambitions are really different. What I retain from the first chapter of the manga is the role that Shiki, Rebecca, and Happy has. It's very different than Fairy Tail. It's kind of reversed. In Fairy Tail, it's Natsu and Happy that finds Lucy and introduce them to the guild Fairy Tail. In this chapter, it's Lucy and Happy that finds Shiki, so this is the difference. Second of all, there's something called Gravity Eater Gear. It's the power that Shiki has. It's basically dragon slaying magic, but for Eden Zero, and it's kind of similar to any other shonen like Naruto, Dragon Ball. It's kind of like a ki or chakra, and the reason why Shiki can use a Gravity Eater Gear is because he has an ether flow that is something that is flowing through every human being's body, so it's kind of like I said, chakra, ki, mana, everything like that, like in Naruto, Black Clover, or Dragon Ball. It's the source of energy for everyone. But basically what happened in the first chapter is Rebecca and Happy find Shiki on a planet where there's only robots. There's only Shiki and robots, and the only reason he left is because the robots wanted him to leave. They made up that they had a virus and that they didn't like humans, so that Shiki would leave. I thought it was a pretty good plot twist. The robots were going to die anyway, so they wanted Shiki to leave for him to not be alone on this planet. So I think it was a pretty good plot twist, and since then I really liked the beginning of this series. In chapter 2 we learned a lot of things. There's something called B-Cube. It's basically the YouTube of Eden Zero, and Rebecca is a B-Cuber, so that's her goal, to be a B-Cuber, to be popular and everything. So it's really different than what Lucy and Fairy Tail wanted to be. There's one thing though that is exactly like Fairy Tail, and this is Happy. He's from a planet named Exceed, so it's the same thing as in Fairy Tail, and he's an Exceed, but the difference is Happy can turn into hands gun, so that's pretty crazy. The reason for that is that when Rebecca was a kid, Happy almost died, and he had to be made into an android to stay alive. So now he can turn into guns. I don't know what he can turn into other things, but I really want to know what he can do more. Like in Fairy Tail, there's guilds, but they're named Adventure Guild, so they're not wizard, they're adventurers. So it's basically the same thing, you can call it. But in this manga, the guild is not named Fairy Tail, it's named Shooting Starlight, and we saw some characters that are really exactly the same as in Fairy Tail. I don't remember their name, but if you read the chapter, you know who I'm talking of. And at the end of the chapter, we saw someone really exactly the same as Erza. Her name is Elsie Crimson. She's a space pirate. That's the only thing that we know so far. She's trying to find Shiki for a reason that we don't know yet. But like I said, it's made by the same author that did Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima, so obviously it's the reason why there's a lot of characters that are pretty similar from the Fairy Tail series, and even when he did Fairy Tail, there were characters that were pretty similar to his Wave Master series. So he does this on and on. He that's what he's known for. There's not really anything to take off chapter 3. The only thing that is important is Labilia. She's basically an older version of Wendy, and she's more popular than Rebecca. So that's the only thing that was important in this chapter. Two things that I forgot to talk about is the friend complex of Shiki. He wants to be friends with everyone because of what his grandpa Robot told him when he was a kid. So he has a friend complex, so that's kind of funny. That's the difference between him and Natsu. And the second thing is this being named Mother. She's the one that you're seeing right here. We don't know her role right now, but she knows that Shiki is not on his planet anymore. So she's kind of I think the god of the universe right now. I really want to know more about her. I really want to know why everyone is calling her Mother, you know. I want to know her role through the story. I think she's gonna be really big, obviously, but we'll see. Chapter 4 began with something really crazy. We saw 20,000 years in the future. I didn't know that we were going to get some time travel thing in this series, but it's something big, man. And in chapter 5, we saw that Shiki, Rebecca, and Happy went 50 years in the past. We don't know how they did it, but it's crazy, man. I really didn't know that they were going to incorporate time travel in this series, but that's something really refreshing, something really different from what we've seen in Fairy Tail. But let's talk about what the narrator said in the chapter. She said that time doesn't mean much in this series. She said to not think too much about what we saw in the last chapter when we saw 20,000 years in the future. So I mean, maybe it means that we are going to go back and forth in the past, in the future, in the present. Maybe that's what they meant, but it's crazy, man. That really that's something that I really liked about this manga right now. It's really different, and I want to know more. There's something that I really liked in chapter 3, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. Shiki says, "When I hear guild, I think of a place where you're all in it together, where you like family, you know." And then Rebecca says, "There was a manga like that long ago." So Hiro Mashima knows what he's doing. He's referencing Fairy Tail in a lot of pages through the manga so far, so I really like it. Hopefully it doesn't do the wrong thing with the friends thing, with the power of friendship and everything. So that was something that I really didn't like in Fairy Tail. In chapter 7, it was revealed that there's a guy named Sibir, and he wants to change the past. So maybe without Shiki and Rebecca knowing, they went to the past with him. But maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it's not that he wants to change the past, but he's doing something. I don't really know right now. So right now, the thing that I really want to see is Shiki having a goal. So in every other series that I've watched, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Black Clover, My Hero Academia, they all have a goal. Naruto was to become Hokage, Goku is to fight stronger opponents, Black Clover is Asta wanting to become the Magic Knight King and everything. So Shiki doesn't have a goal right now, so I really want to know what his goal is going to be in the future. Rebecca, obviously her goal is to become a big B-Cuber. I think that's the name, yeah, B-Cuber. So yeah, man. But I think Hiro Mashima is gonna learn from his errors, hopefully. But so far, I really like this manga series. I think it's similar to Fairy Tail, but also different for all the reasons that I said in this video. It's really different. It's a breath of fresh air, you know. The setting, the things happening, the technology, the science, the space. There's dragons, but dragons are kind of they're different, you know. They're kind of metallic. They're like machines, you know. There's robots. There's a lot of different things that Fairy Tail didn't have. So I really like it. Obviously, Hiro Mashima, like I said, knows what he's doing. He's referencing Fairy Tail, but at the same time, he's doing things differently. Let me know what you think about this series so far in the comments down below. I really like it. It's very interesting. It's a breath of fresh air, like I said. I think I'm gonna review this series every single week, and I think it's going out on Wednesday. Let me know if it's another day in the comments down below. But yeah, man, I do anime reviews every single week, so subscribe for that. And I do anime related things every single week as well, so subscribe for that, man. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.